Well, hey there, everyone. This is Ill Factor from beatacademy.com. And in this video, I'm going to share with you some music production tips and techniques while recreating the beat in Justin Bieber's Yummy. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Let me start off by playing the final product. If you watch the video to the end, I've actually got a special gift I'd like to give you. So go ahead and hang tight, watch the whole thing, and let's go ahead and get started. All right, so let's focus our attention on the pluck sound that we hear at the very intro and throughout the song. I'm going to use the Ableton Live's wavetable, but feel free to use any two or more oscillator synth that you might have in your DAW. These are going to be pretty much simple steps that you can follow that you can accomplish with any synthesizer. So let's start off by taking a listen to the chords. So that's the chords and the pattern. And even just listening by default, we're starting with a sine wave. So that's kind of already in the ballpark of the sound that we're actually looking for, the tonality of it. It's when I listen to the reference, it definitely has some kind of filtering going on, but it's not really bright and buzzy, such as like maybe a sawtooth or a square. So those are important things to keep in mind when you're really trying to go after a sound that you hear in your head or something that you're trying to replicate in a reference. So it's a little bit belly and almost like a mallet. And so a sine wave will definitely get you there. So what we're going to do is head over to the matrix part of here. And this is just the window in Ableton Live's wavetable that allows me to assign a parameter to a specific envelope or LFO. So I've clicked the filter here and I'm going to go ahead and assign that to envelope 2. And let's just set this over to 30. No reason, but obviously the more or the higher the number, the more the envelope will affect that certain parameter. So in this case, filter 1 frequency. So let's go back to the mod sources, envelope 2, and let's bring down the frequency envelope. And that's going to give more of that plucky or bell type sound. So now we go into the envelope and shape this up a little bit. I'm going to increase the decay a little bit. And maybe just a little bit more sustain. Around 50%. There you go. That's good there. And I might actually layer this one oscillator with oscillator 2 on and maybe give a little bit of buzz, some brightness to it by using a sawtooth. Now both of these oscillators are being applied by the filter here. So let's lower the volume here. And add just a little bit of saturation, some filter drive. And then the magic happens once we add some unison to this. And this is maybe adding some more voicing to it. So I'm going to go to unison here, go to classic, and then leave it at 3 voices, and then bring this all the way down to personal preference. So cool, that's the basis and foundation of the sound. Now let's add a little bit of effect processing to really shape it up. So I'm gonna add an auto filter. And I'm using this auto filter really to just sweep out some of the low end here. And you could easily use an EQ to do the same thing, but I'm just gonna use the filter in this case here. Now the reason why I'm doing this is because it thins this out. The more low end we're cutting away from this, the thinner the sound is. And when I listen to the reference, it is a bit thin. So that's what I'm using this for. And then it's got that nice trail, so it's got a good delay on there. So we'll put a delay plugin right after that. And let's just start with the current state that the delay is in. So the timing is right. It's got an 1/8 note delay on there. I'm just going to lower the dry and wet a little bit. And we can add some reverb to the post-delayed signal. So I'll leave that as well. And I'm going to use the onboard filter here to eliminate any of the low end as well. Then let's go ahead and use another filter here, and this time to actually dull out or warm the sound by taking away the high end. Now, if you're asking, why didn't you just use the filter over here? Well, I like the way it is right there to actually create the source of the sound. And now we're using these filters to actually alter the tone of the sound, if that makes any sense. So filter to take away the low end, or an EQ, and a delay, and then we're going to add another filter or EQ to take away some of the high end. And we're going to add some resonance so it gets a little bit more brighter, that specific region, right? Here's an extra bonus tip. If you're really having a hard time trying to identify specific chords or voicing, in this case, you can go ahead and use Ableton Live's audio to MIDI function to really kind of help clarify more or less where you should be focusing your energy. So here is the actual audio of the chords. And what I've done is I went and just dragged that over to the wavetable, the MIDI part, and we're going to choose harmony. That way it can focus in extracting all the notes that are being played. So when you click this, it will convert that audio into MIDI, and here is the actual MIDI input. So, or the chord structure. And so it's actually picking up the vocal melody that's happening at the end of the turnaround there. So with just a little bit of editing and just some cleaning up, you can actually get the notes that are played in the chorus. Now, if you listen closely, the plucks also have some kind of percussion in them. They've got a snap and a little conga or just some kind of percussion hit too. So we're going to recreate that as well. Here we have a drum rack loaded with some sounds. And I'm going to give you these exact sounds, as well as this whole Ableton Live session is going to be available to you. So just watch at the end so you can figure out how to actually get access to that. So right here, let's place the snaps on the 3 or beat 3 for each bar. So that's what we're going to do with that. And we're just going to go ahead and put a filter to filter that whole drum rack. We can give ourselves a little bit of reverb there to add some space. Cool. Now let's go ahead and add the overall drum beat. So if I've gone ahead and duplicated this drum rack so that we can go ahead and place our kick, hi-hat, and clap. So a couple of things here, the samples themselves, we have the kick and the clap. So what I've done with the clap is I actually lowered the sustained. So the reason why is when you play the clap, it's got a lot of sustain. And when I listen to the reference, it's a really nice short clap. So I'm going to lower the sustain to kind of accomplish that kind of vibe. Nice and short, and just mess around with the decay a little bit and head over to the controls and let's just transpose this to semitones. And what I've done is I have one hi-hat here and I've duplicated that hi-hat over here and I've actually pitched this second hi-hat down about 8 semitones. And you're going to see the reason why we've done that. So here in the pattern, it's pretty straightforward. We've got our kick on beat 1 and then we have the clap on beat 3 and then we repeat the kick here, which is measure 2, beat 1.3. Okay. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to hit unfold here and I'm going to focus on that second hi-hat that's pitched down and I'm going to delete this one and use our pencil tool B and just draw in that right there. And again here. So I might just take this one out. Right there. So it's so we've got that nice little triplet or that repeated hi-hat, and that one's the pitch down one, so it gives us the effect. Now let's just turn on the saturator that we have here, just giving a little bit more grit and saturating the overall drum rack. All right, let's go ahead and finish this off with adding an 808 bass. So here I have an 808 instrument that I've put together. but it's really focusing on this 808 sample that's running through this amp simulator to really give a lot of those nice harmonics. And then I have an EQ just shaving off the tone so that we can get just a nice warm round 808 from that. And I've sidechained this 808 to the kick pattern that we hear in the second drum rack. So let's do that here and choose drum rack kick 1. Now every time the kick plays, the bass will duck. So let's go ahead and put our notes down here. We'll start with the G. Right here. And then right up to the A. Right there. So a helpful way for me to do it is just kind of hit the space bar where I feel that next 808 hit should be. And that's where I know where to mark my next note. Right there, boom. So we'll go down to the C. Right here. Let's just play this right there. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope this video has been helpful, encouraging, and inspiring in some way or another. And as my gift to you for watching this video, I'd love to send you the sounds and this actual Ableton Live session. But not just that alone, I also want to send you a sample pack that I've put together with construction kits, loops, one-shots, and sounds that you can use in your music and projects and share that music with the rest of the world. It's royalty-free, works in any DAW, simply click, drag, and drop. So what I'm going to be doing from here on out is actually start incorporating not just this session, but all the sessions that I'll be doing for my remake videos down the road. So you can access them by just clicking the link below in the description box. You can also visit www.beatacademy.com/pack. This will also give you access to the sample pack as well as this Ableton Live session. And if you're not using Ableton Live, no worries. You can still access the sounds by, after downloading the actual file, you can go to the sample folder and view the recorded or the imported, and you'll be able to access all the sounds that have been used in this session. Just click and drag them and use them in your projects any which way you'd like. Well, thank you so much for watching, and be sure to subscribe. Click the like button and subscribe button so you can stay up to date when I'm going to be releasing upcoming videos. I also am going to be doing some live Q&As, and I will be deleting them. So in order to stay in tune with when they're going to happen, you definitely want to subscribe and hit the like button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.